Hey, welcome to a moment of sage. Hope you had a great day. I turned the TV on. I got a break here, and I'm watching replays of these Democratic Congress people who held a press conference today. It really bothers me. I didn't vote for these people. I'm not in their district, so rightfully so. But they still make decisions in Congress, and their asses. That's about the extent of my profanity. Their asses. Oh, they're coming on it. Why? Because of this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. Our freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to speak our minds on TV. Can't do it. You get canceled. And then they blame the government for it, and they blame the dictator Trump. No, you see, you guys never tell the truth. You either tell flat out lies or you tell half truths. And a half truth told as the whole truth is a whole lie. It's really disgusting. It's really, really disgusting. Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, it was deplorable. I'm funnier than both of them. They're not. They're supposed to be comedians. Yet if you see the guest list every night, it's liberal people, and people come on as guests and they bash Trump, they bash the Republicans, they bash the right. Stephen Colbert, infamous for it. Every guest he had. Now, because I don't watch their shows 100%, I don't even watch them 5%. But I see the guest list sometimes. They may have somebody come on once in a great while, but it's like WGN here in my town. WGN, which was it Nexstar, that company that canceled Kimmel, Nexstar, WGN TV here in my hometown. The one time I watched up until 2 weeks ago, I've watched 88% of every morning news show. The only time they had anybody that was favorably towards Trump was during the 2016 election, when they had here in Illinois, they had the heads of the Republican and the Democratic caucuses, come on to talk about the soon-to-be election. That's the only time. In 89% of my watching that over a 9-year period, has there been someone that came on that actually was a Trump supporter. WGN is the most bigoted station that I've watched on a regular basis and seen. I'm not going to mention names right now. I'm going to make a documentary about it. But here they are, Congressman blaming his dictator Trump and what the Republicans are doing. They're squashing freedom. It's nonsense. These all the ones that spoke today, whether it's Chuck Schumer, Chris Murphy, all of them that spoke. If you share this, so I hope it gets around, you two gentlemen and everybody else who was on that up there at the podium today, would you please send me the links to when you screamed about live PD and cops being canceled because of the George Floyd incident? Why should those shows were canceled by the stations because of it? You didn't care about that. You probably applauded it. But you're like the left right now about the assassination. As long as it's happening to the other group, that's fine. But when it happens to us, you're like the thief who steals and goes around stealing bicycles and breaking into garages and stealing stuff. And then one night they come out of their house and guess what? Their place has been broken into, and what they owned was stolen. And all of a sudden, ding, a light goes off. Boy, those guys whoever did this, man, what lowlifes. They're lucky I don't catch them. That's how you guys are. You think I'm kidding you? You made a big stink about January 6th, right? And I'm not going to go into what right or wrong or anything. You made a big stink. You even had an unethical meeting about it, committee meeting. But big stink about what got out of hand on January 6th. Man, oh man, you talked about it for a year, condemning the people, throw them in jail for a year illegally. Even people with serious illnesses like cancer and stuff. But big deal, right? Taking over the country, trying to do this and do that. Yet you all said nothing during the summer of 2020 when they were burning down buildings, when they had cordoned off 3-4 square blocks and told the police, don't you come near here or you're going to get hurt. And they actually overtook parts of America, sections of blocks in the city they overtook. You guys said nothing. If you're going to say something is unrighteous, that it's an injustice, that it's criminal, then you have to maintain those attributes apply whether it's for someone you like or someone you don't like. Not pick and choose. When the opposing side does it, we don't say a word. When people, when it happens to us, we're up in arms. It is the most hypocritical, deplorable thing I've ever seen. It is terrible. You guys are a disgrace. You're an embarrassment. What I saw today was preposterous. The administration of this country had nothing to do with those shows being pulled. Their ratings are low. They're losing money. They're not comedy shows. They are political platforms for the left. That's exactly what they were. If you can't pay the bills because of poor viewing, and you are violating the fact that you got all these guys signed documents, there's moral clauses. If you bring dishonor or disgrace to the station, if what you do, it goes against the public service, of the viewers, stuff like that, you're canceled. That's what happened. Quit blaming dictator Trump. And what's really amazing is none of you screamed when we found out that the Biden administration was censoring social media. Not a word about that. That was okay, wasn't it? But now, and this administration's not censoring social media or TV. Nope, not at all. They're freeing it up. But all of a sudden, you got to get on your soapbox and start blaming Orange Man, blaming the Republicans. Deplorable hypocrisy at its finest.